Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Baxter Boxing. Now, man, my boy Boxing Ego, man. One of the OGs in the boxing game, man. He reported some wild stuff talking about one of the Charlo brothers saying that during the Canelo Alvarez versus the Caleb Plant fight, man, right? They were both undefeated fighters. Caleb Plant, former IBF undefeated IBF champion, and Canelo Alvarez had every single title outside the IBF title. Right, during that fight, Caleb Plant was having such good success in that fight. One of the Charlos brothers said that I can beat him. Right, I'll link it in the description, man. I have the title, so you guys can look it up yourself. But it's wild stuff, man. You hear Jermell Charlo saying I can beat him in the fight. I guess he had a mic on or something like that. And wow, it was wild stuff, man. Because you would think that, Jermell Charlo is the 154 champion right now. He has 3 of the 4 titles. Jermall Charlo is the big Charlo, the 160 Charlo, the WBC champion right now, undefeated WBC champion. And all that being said, man, it's wild because Jermell Charlo is always, on his Instagram, on his Twitter, always hyping up Canelo and saying how great Canelo is. You know what I mean? On his live streams, he's talking about Viva Mexico. You know what I mean? He's going all out for Canelo Alvarez. If you guys didn't know, his fiance is Mexican. That could be a reason why he's doing it. Could be a reason why. Because, that's the fam. That's the fam. Sees Canelo as a brother. That black and brown alliance. You know what I mean? That's what Jermell Charlo is about. Or is he? Behind the scenes, man, Jermell and Jermall are plotting on Canelo Alvarez, man. This is a bounty on Canelo. A lot of people want that Canelo fight. I heard at one point Canelo Alvarez and Errol Spence Jr. even being entertained at one point when Canelo Alvarez was at the smaller weight classes. Now that Canelo Alvarez is a lot bigger, people still call him out, but it looks like the bigger he gets, you need to get people in his proximity to fight him. People still want Canelo Alvarez to fight people like Jermall Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, and that's weight class beneath Canelo Alvarez. It looks like there's not too many big fights at 168 for Canelo Alvarez left, and he's gonna have to start looking around for bigger dogs, right? All that being said, man, Jermell and Jermall, they had it out for Canelo for a while now, and now that Canelo Alvarez is accomplishing his career to become undisputed, man, Canelo is seen as the king now, and you know what they say, man. You get that crown. That crown is heavy. It's heavy on you, man. Everyone wants to be at the top, and Canelo Alvarez is gonna have to go through top dogs like David Benavidez, top Mexican fighter, the best. He's actually really the one WBC champion in 168, but he was stripped of his title. But he never actually lost his title by losing a fight, right? He called out Canelo Alvarez last night after he beat Kyron Davis, right? He said we want to see that fight. Everyone wants to see that fight next, and we want to see it on Cinco de Mayo. That's what he said, man. So yeah, man, the world got Canelo on their watch list, man. That's the fight everyone wants because that's the guy, man. That's the money. That's the money guy now. That's the cash cow now. And now that he came to PBC, we can get these big fights that we really want to see this whole time. We all know the biggest challenges are at PBC. No one's really talking about top ranked fighters or the zone fighters. There's no one over there. There's just no one over there. Top dogs are at PBC outside of Demetrius Andrade, but Andrade is just, he hasn't been making a noise lately at all. And with Jermall and Jermell being twins, whenever one fights, they both fight. They're damn near because they look the same. Shit. So, it's funny. You still got these casual fans mixing up Jermell and Jermall. One will talk and the other will start mixing up his resume with somebody else with each other. It's funny stuff to watch, But Jermell and Jermall had points in their career where one was a boxer and then one was a banger. Now it's flipped around where Jermell is the banger and Jermall is more of the boxer now, which is wild stuff, wild stuff. So it seems like it's like a freaking cycles with Jermell and Jermall. 1 second they want to bang, 1 second they want to box, and now it's flipped. But all that being said, man, they're trying to think of a game plan to destroy Canelo Alvarez. They already talked about it. They're over here talking about it during the fight, right? And this is a really big deal because these are multi-division. Well, one is a multi-division world champion, and Jermell is one fight away to becoming undisputed, just like Canelo Alvarez. You know, and understand that Jermell Charlo trains with guys like Errol the Truth Spence. So, you know, you got a freaking Legion of Doom over there trying to take down one guy. And this is wild stuff for Canelo Alvarez, man. You know, he wanted the crown, he got the crown. You know, a lot of people were shitting on Floyd Mayweather, and he was that guy, an African-American champion. You know, a lot of Mexicans, man. Floyd used to fight so many Mexican fighters for so long. And Mexicans did not like that shit. Now that this Mexico's on top, well, it's your turn, champ. Now that Mexico's on top, now black people, man, we got it out for you now. We got it out for you now, man. You're gonna have to hear from us every day. Dante's Boxing Nation is always trashing Canelo every day. Boxing Eagles trashing me every day. Now they're gonna see what we felt for all those years. But now it's Canelo's turn. And I'm not gonna lie, man, it's sort of fun. It's sort of fun. It's sort of fun, you know. But Canelo Alvarez, man, hey man, this is what he wanted. He wanted to be the best, and now it seems like he could be. I still have Terence Crawford above him just because Terence Crawford fought hard hitters at 140, guys that were coming out of nowhere, knocking guys out in foreign nations, right? Julius Ndongo went over there and stopped the undefeated fighter in round 1 to get a title, and then he went to another country. I think it was Ireland or Scotland. It was one of those countries over there to completely outbox Ricky Burns, right, to win a title. So he had 2 of the 4 titles before he fought Terence Crawford. So Terence Crawford was fighting champions who were coming out of nowhere, knocking out undefeated fighters in foreign lands. Wild stuff. Julius Ndongo had an insane rise and insane fall. It was the wildest stuff I ever seen in boxing. I still can't think of a fighter like that to this day. You know, a fighter who came out of nowhere, started stopping everyone, beating everyone, and then just fell off out of nowhere. Wild stuff, man. The guy was a freak of nature. He was a guy who was really talented, but had no really good trainer. And he didn't get with the right trainer for his career. He should have got with an athletic trainer instead of a pure boxer, because he had a weird, awkward style. You know, him trying to make him conventional was the wrong thing to do for Julius Ndongo. He's not a conventional type of fighter. He's an aggressive, lanky, you know, awkward kind of fighter. You just need an athletic trainer for that kind of guy. Athletic trainer and defense, you know. Athletic training for boxing. Like a Roy Jones Jr. type thing. Or a Freddie Roach in his prime, you know. But anyway, that being said, man, you know, Terence Crawford's fighting at 147, and those dogs are just different, man. That's always been a competitive division. There's a reason why Pacquiao got knocked out at 147 division, and you know, and he just lost to Dennis Ugas. That division is where legends are made and goats are made, for sure. So all that being said, man, you know, the Charlo brothers are plotting against Canelo, and believe me, it's not just the Charlo brothers. I already talked about it earlier about Errol Spence Jr. calling him out as well at one point in his career, and it's just like, you know, Canelo there's a hit on him, man. There's a hit in that guy, man. They're planning on him. They're plotting on the guy. Crazy stuff, though. Let me know you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace. Geoboxing Empire.